Somewhere in Tokyo right now. A family of 4 is living comfortably. In less than 500 square feet. No storage unit. No clutter overwhelming every corner. No feeling of being squeezed into a space too small to breathe in. And somehow, it doesn't feel small. It feels intentional. Here's what nobody tells you about small apartment living. The problem usually isn't the size of the space. It's how the furniture inside it was designed to think. Most furniture does one thing. It sits there. Takes up space. Claims its corner of the room. And asks nothing of itself. In return, Japanese space-conscious design asks something very different of furniture. Before anything enters a home, it has to answer one question. Can you do more than one job? That single question quietly separates a cramped apartment from one that breathes. Today, I'm sharing 7 Japanese-inspired furniture ideas that can make a small home feel dramatically more open, without tearing down walls, without renting storage, and without spending your weekend reorganizing the same space that was disorganized again by Tuesday. Stay until idea number 6. Because it completely changes the way you think about the most space-consuming piece of furniture in your entire home. Let's get into it. Idea 1. Low furniture that gives the room its eyes back. In a small apartment, a traditional sofa doesn't just take up floor space. It takes up visual space. It's wide. It's tall. And once it's there, the room quietly reorganizes itself around it. Japanese interiors often use lower-profile furniture for one very specific reason. When your line of sight can travel across more of the room, your brain reads the space as larger. It's not a trick. It's how the brain processes environments. Furniture that sits below your eye level keeps more wall visible, more floor visible, more room to breathe. And here's the thing about low furniture. Most people don't realize the space around it becomes usable too. A low sofa can leave enough clearance that the room doesn't feel like a maze. You can move through it. And movement through a room is one of the quietest signals that a space is actually comfortable. Idea 2. A dining table that disappears when dinner is over. Here's something every small homeowner figures out eventually. A dining table is useful for maybe 2 hours a day. But it claims its section of the apartment 24 hours a day. Japanese-inspired interiors solve this with furniture that earns its space differently. A folding or extendable dining table stays compact when you're working, reading, or just living, and expands when it's actually time to eat. But the bigger idea here is something Japanese design calls fluid space. Your home shouldn't be a collection of permanent zones assigned to single activities. The dining area becomes a workspace. The workspace becomes a hobby table. The living room gets to breathe again. Every square foot has to earn its place. Not by being used constantly, but by being available for more than one thing. Idea 3. A bed that does something with what's underneath it. Let's talk about the biggest piece of furniture in most bedrooms. The bed. It dominates the floor plan. And the space underneath it? Usually wasted. A storage bed turns that dead zone into the most useful hidden space in your apartment. Seasonal clothing. Extra bedding. Luggage. Towels. Things you genuinely need, but don't need to see every day. And here's the psychological piece. When storage is built into furniture you already need, you stop needing extra cabinets. Fewer cabinets means fewer things competing for your attention. A small bedroom with 2 storage pieces can feel calmer than a large bedroom. Cluttered with 5. The Japanese principle here isn't about owning less. It's about making what you own. Work harder for the space it takes. Idea 4. Tables that disappear into each other. Okay, this one looks almost too simple. Until you realize what it replaces. Instead of one large coffee table, permanently occupying the center of your living room, nesting tables give you multiple surfaces that can slide inside each other when you don't need them. One person? Use the smallest table. Having people over? Pull the others out. Done? Slide them back. The floor comes back to you. And that matters more than it sounds. In Japanese design, there's a concept called the meaningful value of empty space. Not emptiness for the sake of minimalism, but space that allows the room to flex with whatever the day needs it to be. Visible floor doesn't just look cleaner. It signals to your brain that movement is possible. And when movement feels possible, the room feels bigger. Every time. Idea 5. A desk that closes when work is done. Be real for a second. Most of us don't need a full-size desk sitting in our apartment 24 hours a day. We need a surface to work on for a few hours. That's a completely different requirement. A wall-mounted folding desk stays nearly flush with the wall when you're not using it. Open it, you have a workspace. Close it, the floor comes back. The room comes back. Your evening comes back. And here's the part that actually matters. When work equipment stays visible all evening, your brain doesn't fully leave work. The laptop on the desk. The files nearby. The charger plugged in. All of it keeps part of your mind in work mode. But when the workspace physically closes, something shifts. The room changes. And your brain finally gets the signal it's been waiting for. Work is over. That boundary, created by a piece of furniture, is one of the most underrated things you can give yourself in a small apartment. Idea 6. The piece of furniture that transforms the room itself. This is the one I asked you to stay for. And it's the most distinctly Japanese idea on this list. A traditional Japanese futon can be folded and stored completely when it isn't being used. That means the bedroom doesn't have to be a bedroom all day. The same floor becomes space for movement, for stretching, for reading, for simply breathing. And this idea points to something most Western furniture design never considers. Your sleeping space doesn't have to remain your sleeping space 24 hours a day. When the furniture can be put away, the room transforms. Not just in function, in feeling. You're no longer managing a bedroom that has been permanently assigned one purpose. You're living in a space that adapts to what you actually need at any given moment. Modern versions of this exist everywhere now. Murphy beds, fold-away mattress frames, daybed systems that work as sofas. The furniture category has expanded, but the principle is the same as it's always been. In Japanese homes, the smartest piece of furniture knows when to get out of the way. Idea 7. The question that makes all 6 of them work. This one isn't a piece of furniture. It's the rule behind every piece of furniture. Before anything enters a small apartment, ask one honest question. Can this do more than one job? A bench that stores blankets. A table that expands when you need it. A bed that hides your seasonal clothes. A desk that disappears when work is over. Because the biggest mistake in a small home isn't always having too much stuff. It's having too many things that can only do one thing. A dining table only for eating. A desk only for working. A cabinet only for storage. Each one permanently claims its territory. And when you have enough single-purpose furniture, your home quietly stops being your space. It becomes a collection of assigned zones. You navigate around. Japanese space-conscious living takes the opposite approach. Let the furniture adapt. Let the room change. Let one piece earn its place in more than one way. And there's a deeper psychological reason. This feels so freeing. When your surroundings can be rearranged, you feel less trapped by them. You can clear the floor, open the room, change what the space is doing. And the apartment you thought was too small starts feeling different. Not because the walls moved, but because your relationship with the space changed. In Japanese design, they call the ideal home one that holds your life without holding you back. Small doesn't have to mean cramped. It can mean intentional. It can mean flexible. And sometimes, the most luxurious thing a home can give you is simply enough room to move freely inside the life you already have. So this week, don't buy more storage. Look at what already takes up the most space. Your bed, your sofa, your table, your desk. Then ask one question. Could this piece do two jobs? That question will change what you buy next. And probably, what you let go of first. Which of these 7 ideas would make the biggest difference in your own home? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you.